Okay, and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking apart another subwoofer, and as you can see, I've got a number of them. These are the ones that are going to be coming up here soon. I somehow find a lot of subwoofers just driving along, and I see them on the side of the road, and I pick them up. I think I have taken apart 3 or 4 of these already, and I have 4 more here. And that big one on the bottom is a Fosgate. That one will be coming up last, basically, I think, because it's on the bottom. By the way, for those of you who are following, there's the spot bot that I rescued. Totally works. Today, I think the one I'm going to go for is this one over here. And I'll tell you why in a second. Let's see, which one is this? This is a Jensen. And I'll have the model number on the title and certainly in the description. And I want to do that one because, in an odd coincidence, as I was dropping it, the cap to my water bottle went straight in that base port, and I want it back. So we're going to take a look at this. And the reason why I do this, we take these apart to see the general construction and the different name brands, because some of these are supposed to be really good name brands. Like this one here is a unknown. But, you know, something like this is a Fosgate. And I'm expecting great things in there. So far, the best one I have taken apart was the Infinity, if you remember that one. And I'll put a link to that one on the end screen. That Infinity subwoofer and satellite speaker were just great. But this one is somewhere in the middle, and we'll see if they let's see what they did in there. So let me pull that one out, get it on the table out there, and we'll see what's in there. Okay, here we go. So we're taking a look here at the tag, and it is a Jensen JS650. And I'm not sure of the relevance there, but it probably has something to do with the, maybe it has something to do with the speaker size. And I thought this was a downward firing sub, but there is nothing on the bottom. So the speaker is completely contained in there and sealed, and all the sound comes out of just this one hole. So the only screws on the entire case are right here on the back. So this is obviously where we have to go. Clearly a powered sub. And we got a fuse there. Somebody had it turned up all the way, of course. Now I'm always curious. I got to pull that fuse out first, because oftentimes when you find these on the side of the road, obviously somebody thought it didn't work, and very often find just a blown fuse. So let's pull that out, see what's in there. Okay, there it is. You know, I'm gonna say it looks iffy. I don't have my glasses on, but it looks as though there might be still a filament connecting there, but it does look like it's melted, or at least extremely compromised. Does not look good. So that might be why they threw it out. No sound, or very diminished sound, because of the fuse, possibly. Okay, so let's take all these screws out and see what's in there. Okay, got all the screws out, and it seems to be loose, which means it's not stuck there. It's like sometimes they're sealed. Let's see what we got in there. Okay, you got some little hard to see. We got a decent sized speaker in there. It looks, no, I think it's an 8. I think that's about an 8-inch sub, but a real big magnet on it. And we'll certainly get it all the way out of there so we can take a look at the voice coil and so on. Case is packed in foam. That's a good sign. Okay, the edge was just foam rubber, making a seal around the edge there. That's good. And there's your big old transformer. So what do we got here? Okay, so this is where the speakers come in, and then they cross over, and then they go back out. So that frequencies below, doesn't say, frequencies below a certain point will go to the sub, and then it'll cut those frequencies away from the satellite speakers. You know, that appears to be some kind of a buzzer there. I'd have to pull that off and take a closer look at that. Like this would actually make a noise. Oh, I'm completely wrong. Looks like a buzzer, but it's the back of the dial. I may edit that part out. Alright, what else we got here? Nice thick wires. It must have a good amount of power. Let's see, what was it? It was, it doesn't say the, okay, 100 watts, 60 hertz, 100 watts. Where am I? 60 hertz, 100 watts. 100 watt subwoofer. And you'll have to forgive me, I'm in direct sunlight and I can't see. Yeah, let me pull some stuff apart and I'll be right back. Okay, so the caps are still on the capacitors, so they have not been blown yet. None of them are blown. But if you look here on this, let me swing this around. We've got some charring on the base of this. I think this has been run pretty hard. A little unknown whether or not that is still working. And here, this little capacitor here seems to have some damage. So my initial guess is that this sub does not work, or the circuit does not work. And we'll have to see if the actual speaker is blown. So, so we're done with this part, and now what we have to do is get those, it just looks like 4 screws, and we'll get that sub out. Okay, I've got the speaker out, and what do we find in there? Well, there's my cap. You can get that back. But then we also have an orange puff ball, and what I'm imagining is a dead cockroach. I think that's a dead cockroach? Is that moving? Should I poke that with something? Let's put this in there and see what happens. Alive? No, not alive. So, we have a dead cockroach, an orange puffy ball, and the cap I was looking for. So that's what's in the case. I took all that foam out as well. It's all just sitting right over there. And so that I could see better what's going on. And so the whole thing is just glued together. And it's particle wood, of course. They all are. But that means I can't get into that second compartment there. And there's no real reason to anyway. All we have is that plastic base port sticking in there. And that's it. I mean, could probably pop that out by prying it out. And sorry about the wind, guys. I am outside. So the speaker itself turns out to be, let's see what we got here. We're looking at about 5.5 inches depending on how you measure it, about 5 inches. Much smaller than I thought, but pretty thick. Now, this is, of course, the Jensen JS, let's see right there, JS650. That might be referring to millimeters. Let's see what we got there. No, that's a scale. Of course, it might be referring to inches if they're measuring from the outside. See there? And that's where you might be able to get 6.5, 6.5, 650. Maybe it's a reach, but sometimes that's the way they do it. But the voice coil, of course, the magnet is huge. It looks to be a 1-inch voice coil. If I can see in there, there we go. It's about a 1-inch voice coil. And of course we can't hear anything out here, but I also don't feel anything when I'm doing this, so I think this is totally a good speaker, and I will keep it, and I'll throw it on the pile. I've got a big pile of these. Ultimately, I think that wraps it up. So the circuit was your average circuit, you know, fairly good quality. The box was better than average quality, and the speaker looks to be a really good speaker as well. Jensen, I remember taking apart a Jensen speaker before, and I remember it being impressive. So that wraps it up. I don't know which one's next one's going to be, or what type of video is really going to come up next, because it's pretty random over here, but I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.